my name is Ryan Lane, and welcome to my review channel. So for today's movie, I will be reviewing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, directed by Jeff Rowe, and starring a whole lot of people. So forgive me if I use my phone here. There are a lot of actors. Actors of which include Mika Abbey, Shimon Brown Jr., Nicholas Cantu, Brady Noon, Ayo Edebiri, Maya Rudolph, John Cena, Seth Rogen, Rose Byrne, and Giancarlo Esposito. So, you all know the drill here. Dr. Baxum Stockman, played by Giancarlo Esposito, creates an ooze that causes 4 baby turtles and 1 adult rat to mutate into pizza-loving ninjas. 15 years pass, and these turtles grow up into Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael, played by Nicholas Cantu, Mika Abbey, Shimon Brown Jr., and Brady Noon, respectively. They are, like all teenagers, they wish to exert their independence, in this case, independence from their overprotective, yet caring and willing to learn father, Splinter, played by Jackie Chan. So, to escape from the sewers and into the good graces of a hopefully loving human New York City, they team up with April O'Neil, played by Ayo Edebiri, to take down the new villain Superfly and hopefully save the city. So the performers all give pretty solid performances for the most part. Nicholas, Mika, Shimon, and Brady all do a great job of imbuing their respective characters with that classic TMNT energy, while also managed to incorporate some greater pathos. Like, these teenagers, for once in their lives, actually feel like teenagers. I know, what a concept. Who'd have thunk that Seth Rogen would have to be the one to actually do that premise justice for these movies? Because let's be real, in all the movies they've felt like teenagers, but only in a very superficial, like, hey, what's the new fad of the time type thing. In the 90s it was Vanilla Ice, because we let him be a thing for some reason. In the 2000s, it was just, I don't know, I'm not sure what style was associated with the 2000s. I guess maybe snark, perhaps. Anyway, and the 2010s, was, pop music stars. And that trend sort of continues with these turtles. They reference everything from Adele to Ferris Bueller's Day Off to even Avengers Endgame, which I was not expecting. Anyway, like I said, all these the turtles, they have great chemistry with each other, and you really believe them as brothers who, while they love each other, they're kind of tired of being the only faces they see, on a day-to-day basis, or rather night-to-night basis, if you will. Jackie Chan is also good as Splinter, the overprotective yet caring father who is, willing to learn and even willing to go out of his way to make his sons happy, even if he doesn't always go about it in the smartest way possible at times. Ayo Edebiri is also fun as April O'Neil, an aspiring journalist who is kind of camera shy for reasons that you will see why as the film progresses. Ice Cube is also fun as Superfly, a fun-loving yet intimidating villain whose idea of quote-unquote acceptance happens to involve quite a bit of killing. I will say this, the only performance that I didn't quite enjoy as much as I would have liked was Maya Rudolph's performance as a German scientist leader of, some evil corporation, because you gotta have one of those. And I don't know, I just found her performance to be a tad overcooked and over the top, which I know is a weird sentence to say about a movie that features an Australian alligator played by Rose Byrne, but I don't know. I guess her performance just felt, even by over-the-top standards, felt too over-the-top, if that makes any sense. So the writing is a little bit uneven, but I'd say it mostly works in the grand scheme of things. The writing features a boatload of fun pop culture references, which the film surprisingly manages to incorporate and convert into fun setups and payoffs, especially during the climax. With the with each character's interest playing an integral part to the end of the movie. So very well done there. The screenplay also gives each character plenty of fun visual and verbal gags to unload onto the audience, and most of them are really hilarious. Some gags are a little bit overplayed, like Splinter's fears of the turtles being milked by the human civilization, despite the fact that the turtles lack nipples, as they themselves point out. But again, it's not horrible, just maybe a little overplayed. The dialogue also manages to incorporate Gen Z slang in a way that feels organic and like it was written by actual teenagers, as opposed to, say, out of touch studio executives. And while the character development is a bit familiar, the film does put in the work and then some to make these character arcs believable and even rather emotional and touching at times. The film also features commentary on racism and media portrayals and how media portrayals can feed into said racism. And while the message can feel a little bit oversimplified at times, it is a nice message to have in a world where hate is quantitatively on the rise. So, again, I'll give the oversimplification a little bit of a pass. Also, I would say that the only real issue with the film is the pacing. The first act, it feels bogged down by a lot of exposition, especially with regards to Turtle's backstory. And the third act feels just a little too long, like maybe 5 to 10-ish minutes. Okay, maybe not 10 minutes, more like 5 minutes could have been shaved just a little bit. And I feel like the film could have been a better movie for it. So, the animation style. It might come without surprise to those who have seen the trailers, but the film, it clearly takes nods from films like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish and the Spider-Verse movies, yet it never feels 100% indebted to them. The film manages to carve out its own unique style and niche for the characters. The animation gives way to chaotic yet spatially coherent action scenes, and the animation imbues each mutant with their own unique fighting ability and style, tailored with everyone from the Turtles to the Superfly himself to Splinter to the Alligator to all having their own unique movements and fighting ability. So I really appreciated that there. My favorite sequence, though, involves one where they're trying to hunt down Superfly, and the fighting occurs simultaneously and cross cuts between each one, bridging the time gap. So I really that's arguably my favorite. It's really well done. With the cross cutting feel organic, and you never losing track of what's going on. So and there's plenty more sequences like that. Maybe not exactly, but in terms of quality and sheer creative effort, I'd say it's my personal favorite. So, though it's not without some of its flaws, Mutant Mayhem manages to breathe new life into the franchise thanks to a renewed focus on the titular turtles themselves. So with all that in mind, I will be giving Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 3.5 out of 5 stars. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. If you like this review and would like to see more like it, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. And for today's comment section prompt of the day, what is your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie and why?